Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the dining room at the Corner's house. I'm out of the man cave again on my earpods, so I'm not professionally mic'd up or anything this week, so hopefully I sound okay. I'm sure you'll let me know if I'm not. I'm joined by some excellent guests this evening, so let's go around the room. Welcome back, Gibbo. You're everywhere these days, a bit like Højbjerg in that midfield. You all right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone else wants to come on, so I'm just being shipped in until everyone else decides they want to get back involved. But yeah, great to be on. Great panel to be on with. Plenty to talk about, mate. So looking forward to getting into it. Same as always.
You're the ultimate utility player.
Yeah.
Like, think Michael Brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick you anywhere and we're happy. Stevie, welcome back. It looks like you've got a large fish tank behind you, but you say it's just a window, right?
It is just a window. Don't know if you haven't where you're from, mate, but we have quite a few down in London.
I've got a big window, actually. I've got a bay window there, and air is pouring in because it's
looking over the beautiful sights of Lewisham.
What are they?
I don't know. I don't look out the window, to be honest. A bit scared to.
Good idea. You might get double tapped. And Mr. Muir, welcome back. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good. Much nice to be on the YouTube rather than just the podcast, but there's a big window behind me as well, if you can see it. But that's looking out onto the main streets of Brixton. You don't need to know what's going on out there at the moment.
It's nice for me to be out of my man cave dungeon, to be honest, and have a window because there's no windows in the man cave. So there we go. Actually, there is one, but yeah, so it's far away from where I broadcast from. Anyway, I'm waffling. Welcome to the show. Massive shout out, Kaza, sorting me out some Wolves tickets. So thank you very much for that. I will get the money to you.
One of them. Thanks for the tickets, the checks and the post.
Thanks for sorting it out. Yeah, absolutely. We've got loads to cover. We've got the Roma game. We've got the transfer window. We're only, less than a week away from kickoff now, which I am really excited about because I can't wait to get back to the stadium. So we'll talk about that as well. While we're here, let's make sure you smash the like button. 26 if you're watching already. Please do smash that like button. It really helps us with the getting the numbers up, watching us, and costs you nothing. Takes about a second. If you want something to cost you something, super chats are live, and the only way we will absolutely discuss and debate your comment. So do please keep that in mind during the show. Guys, welcome to the cheese room. Roma, has anyone woken up yet? Gibbo, did it put you into a nice gentle slumber?
I didn't actually watch it while it was live because I had to go out. So I watched it after knowing what the score was. It was all right, wasn't it? I think out of this seems silly to say, but out of all the friendlies, it was probably the most sort of like game that felt like a friendly. I sort of thought I thought we took it as like, we've got a big game next week, so let's just get through this, get some more minutes in more players' legs, try and work on what we're trying to do and just make sure everybody's fit for next week. Whereas I think Roma and probably more likely Jose wanted to win. So it was all right. The fact that we never had any shots on target disappoints me. I don't want to start going back to that. But I don't think we were desperate to get anything out of it more than fitness and a bit of working on team structure and stuff. I think that is literally what it was for. So, yeah, it wasn't a great watch. It wasn't awful, but it was just a bit meh, wasn't it? Well, a few questions. I'm not keen on Sanchez playing as a left centre-back. I'm not saying I'm not keen on him. Just a few little things still need to be ironed out, but hopefully they'll all be ready for Saturday. But that's it, really.
When Saturday comes. Well, there's the starting lineup. Obviously, Lloris, nice to see the Doc back in the team, Mr. Muir. Do you think he did all right on the right flank?
I think for the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, he got forward quite well, didn't he? He got to the back post quite nicely. He does arrive well. I'll give Doherty that. He times his runs really, really well. I think Dyer picked him out. I think Højbjerg picked him out as well a few times as well. I'd love to have seen Spence. I'm a big Spence fan. I think Spence is definitely good enough and ready enough for the Prem as it stands at the moment. But looking at the starting lineup as it is there, I was really excited to see Perisic, and I wasn't disappointed, to be honest, with Perisic. But to answer your question, yeah, Doherty, I think he'll probably start next week, to be honest, on Saturday. I think Conte will go safe, almost like trying to get a banker, trying to take no risks the first game up, and get a kind of good win, or a good performance and a good win to kick the season off, and then go from there. But yeah, Doherty he looks all right. He didn't look like he was really suffering much from the injury. I know the injury was a long time ago, but he seems to be moving really, really well. And he got to the far post a few times, and he cut inside a few times, and made a nuisance of himself. And yeah, it was a good performance.
Yeah, and then on the left flank, Stevie, Perisic, as Paul's commented, Perisic, I've said before on record that I think he'll be our most important signing this summer of the people we've signed thus far. Terrific player. Did you watch the game, and what did you think of his performance?
Yeah, I watched it on and off. I think like most people, I kind of zoned out of it at parts because it was a Jose masterpiece, wasn't it? So they won, but it was boring as hell. But yeah, I thought he looked good. He looked threatening, had a few good shots, a couple of good balls in. He's, as everybody knows, wing backs are important to any Conte team, and he's a goal-scoring, creative, attacking wing back. So yeah, I agree. I think it'll be very important for us. Also, winning mentality, and hopefully bringing Cess on a little bit as well. So I think Cess has got a lot of talent, but he seems to brick it when he gets into the final third, doesn't he, in terms of decision making and ability to shoot on target. So I think hugely important.
Yeah, interesting to see Conte's post-match comments. I'm not sure if any of you saw it, which sort of said, "This isn't the Perisic I know. There's a lot more to come from him." So good signs there. Paul,
he made a point, didn't he, afterwards, saying it's not, they're both not fully fit or where he expects them to be at this point in the season, which alludes to me they'll have like a hard week of conditioning and training from today onwards, probably at Hotspur way, and then I saw those comments as well, and I thought it was really interesting that he picked both Perisic, because I thought he had a really good game for it. I thought he arrived again like Doherty well, really good shot, both his left and his right. I noticed as well he could hit the ball really, really nicely from outside the box, like really true strikes. Got to the byline as well, put one up, and the goalie plucked it out of the air with Harry at the back post. Those comments were very, very interesting. I thought I think Perisic will be the first choice, and then it's up to Cess to try and out of that position.
And then Bissouma's I suppose the big sort of selection dilemmas will come on to Longley and Sanchez in due course. But going back to the starting 11, Bissouma, obviously, Gibbo, first good minutes we've seen of him, really, because he's been coming on. What were your thoughts on Bissouma, and do you expect him to start next weekend?
No, I don't expect him to start. I think Bentancur will start. I think it'll be mostly the same team that finished last season. I think Bissouma's a quality player, but he hasn't had a lot of minutes, has he? Because obviously we went away, he had COVID, so I think he came on for 45 against Rangers, didn't he? And he played 45 yesterday, so I don't think Conte will start him. I don't think he's in that sort of position to be sort of starting Southampton. I think he'll go with Højbjerg and Bentancur, but hopefully it'll just be everybody keep playing games, get some momentum, and the team will sort of morph into whatever it's going to be as we go on. But I think Conte will sort of stick to what he knows, and he'll want everybody to know their position and everybody to be fully fit, and he'll want people who are at the top of their physical peak, won't he? So, yeah, I don't think Bissouma will start, but he'll get plenty of games as the season goes on. I don't think there's a definite first choice centre midfield pairing really at the minute. I just think it's more a case of these two know what my system is. They know what it's all about. They're the ones that will start.
Steve, different view, or are you in agreement?
Same view. A bit controversial. This is being incredibly harsh because he has only played 90 minutes. I haven't seen quite what I expect from Bissouma yet. I don't think he's particularly wowed us, but yeah, the quality's there, so I'm sure will come. And 90 minutes in, it's a hard judge at that point. So I think he'll come around. What I'm even saying, like he's not. It's not. I'm trying not to be negative. I just don't think he's wowed me yet, and I don't think he's wowed Conte yet. Nor, as Gibbo said, would he know a system to start. So yeah, I think he'll be those two in midfield, and Skip's obviously not an option, which we'll talk about in a little while as well.
Bentancur has looked off it really though all pre-season, hasn't he, Muir? Mr. Muir, I should say. He's not looked on it.
I remember when Bentancur first came when he played in February, and he was one of the most kind of dynamic players we had. We were looking low at the end of January, and he was like bursting from the midfield, and he was going beyond Son and Kane and trying to get the ball back from the oppo centre back and their pivot as well. And he was all over the place, and he had a massive effect. And we seem to be a lot more dynamic with him in the team. I hear what he's saying. He's not. He's certainly, maybe he's just, I don't know, maybe he's I see what Phil Ambrose is saying in the chat. Actually, we do look a little bit undercooked in some places. Maybe people are in energy saving mode right now. Maybe, we all know that, and we've spoken about on the pod as well about like Conte and the fitness team, Gianpiero and these guys there. Maybe, they're thinking, right, okay, this is just a pre-season friendly it's a showcase game in a different country. Let's just like get through this game. Let's like to conserve energy, and then let's like hit the ground running next week. Maybe I'm just trying to be a little bit more like kind of like positive about it. I'm not sure, but yeah, Bentancur, I expect a bit more thrust really, and it's not really happening. I agree with the guys with Basuma as well. Basuma, I think we'll see a lot more ball carrying for Basuma because we're not going to get a credit. I know we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I've said this before again as well, that I think Basuma is going to be our main kind of threat carrying the ball forward, like he did for Brighton, like he did against us as well. Against at the lane, he destroyed us. He just waltzed past Højbjerg like he wasn't there in that game, and he can carry the ball. I've got high hopes for Basuma. He's not looking at the minute, but I'm not going to judge him after a couple of pre-seasons. But to go back to your Bentancur point, yeah, he looks a little bit kind of, as Phil Ambrose said, they're a bit undercooked.
His passing seems off, doesn't it? Bentancur's a bit. Passes you think he usually just used to, end of last season, he was just sliding through to people. They're getting intercepted. There's just like not enough on it, or he hasn't found his range yet. Maybe that comes with just game after game after game after game in pre-season, like you said, being a bit undercooked. I think they've been all right games, but I don't think it's been like a really full-on intense because of all the travelling and stuff they've done. I don't think their pre-season's been like how Conte would probably want it. I don't think a friendly in Israel a week before in those conditions was ideal for what Conte probably wanted to do.
It did seem a weird
right?
It did seem a weird one though, didn't it, to go to Rangers, which was a competitive game because it's a week before Rangers season started. Yeah. And then to have another week and then go again, as you say, they give up overseas.
Yeah.
And come back. It just seemed a very weird, and I think, Owen, you're right. I think the commercial department certainly called that. And
2.5 million we got for that game.
Is that all?
Well, there might be some bonuses on top, but the appearance fee was 2.5 million. So
really,
plus you've got the exposure, haven't you, in the shirt sales, except that I think there's the branding piece is worth a lot of that. But I think if you go down, good for a friend is pretty decent.
If you go down that road, I think if you're down that road, then you're opening yourself up to what's best for the players. And then you go into this well-worn cul-de-sac, which we're not going to go down. Of like, Levy's got like bank balance interest rather than a team, except. But I don't want to go down. But I just feels very weird to have a really quite competitive game in Glasgow, and then another week training, and then go over there and play Roma, which I thought we could have gone to Italy, or Roma could have come here, or whatever. I mean, it just seemed quite a weird thing to do just for the money. But you can't. Yeah, exposure. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But you would have thought we'd have cleaned up in South Korea, to be honest, and made a few quid out of that, really.
I'm sure we did.
But nonetheless, we are back and only a week away from the game. So this is the stats. So 65% ball position, 10 attempts, none on goal, 7 shots off goal. And I suppose the thing for me is around this game, it was interesting to see how we would cope with a team that was low blocking, which we knew what Jose would do. Let's face it, go goal up, part of the bus. That's his modus operandi, isn't it, Steve? But it showed again we have trouble breaking teams down that do stick. And I know it's a pre-season friendly, but we do have problems breaking those teams down. We saw it all last season.
Yeah, we do, don't we? And kind of, I think that's why everybody's crying out for a more creative midfielder, or just something slightly different to bring off the bench. Like a Maddison, who now looks like he may not be an option. Zaniolo, I'm not massively sold on.
What did you think of Zaniolo?
He is a bit.
No,
not a lot going on there, was there?
I mean, again, we're judging on one game, so hopefully the scouting department will have done a little bit more due diligence than us. But he didn't look the part, did he?
No, not really.
No, but there's talent there. Yeah, he is a good player. Let's face it, Kulusevski. I just saw John's comment. Kulusevski, looked pretty poor in his year at Juve. And look at him now. I wouldn't 100% be against it. I'm just not. It wouldn't be my preferred buy. I think Maddison would be my preferred buy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yes, we did struggle to answer your question.
We'll come back to Maddison. Halftime subs, so Longley and Bentancur on for Sanchez and Basuma. Longley, according to Twitter, is the worst signing of the window and just a stopgap and a backup. He's looked our best centre-back so far, hasn't he, Gibbo?
Well, I don't think he has looked our best centre-back. I just think when he came on, obviously you can only judge it by the game. He had a bit more time and space because there wasn't really a lot of pressing or a lot of pressure. But obviously in that left-sided centre-back, Sanchez has done really well. But coming out with the ball, Longley's obviously left-footed, and he just obviously appeared a lot more comfortable bringing the ball out. He's always going to because that's his game, and he's better on the ball than he is better on the ball than Sanchez. Not to take anything away from Sanchez, because I don't think he's played too bad. Sanchez, he's done all right, but it's just what you get with the ball coming out. If you have Davis or Longley on the left, you're going to have a little bit more, aren't you? And he looked all right, but it's like, it is a friendly. I thought the second half, we didn't have a shot on target, so we were just happy to sort of knock it about, and if something happened, it happened. But he did. He looked comfortable. What he had to do, he did all right. And, the test's going to be from next Saturday, isn't it? That's when the test is going to come in the Premier League, when it's like full on.
Well, another goal conceded from a set piece, which I didn't talk about just before halftime. That's the same old, isn't it? We've seen that Spurs undone by that time and before, Paul.
It's a corner. It's that front post corner, 6-yard box area. I was trying to work out what we do if we're going zone or man to man. I think it's a game like we did last season. I think it's a mix, depending on who their forwards are. I think we were definitely man marking Abraham. I think it was Romero who was looking after Tammy Abrahams as well at the time, and I thought Romero was poor at the weekend for various reasons. And then the ball just comes in, Dyer gets underneath it, Romero gets blocked off, and it's just a fairly easy kind of like, it's poor defending again. Let's hope, because we conceded quite a few of those last season. Well, we conceded quite a few of those in the last couple of seasons, but let's hope that that's not going to happen too often. But I think I said in the Patreon chat, it was like, it's a corner again. It's we're not a small team either back there. We're not small. Sanchez is a big guy. Romero's got a good jump on him. Dyer, as we know, he can, and we know Hugo's not going to come out and collect the ball. He's going to stay on his line. He's going to leave the defenders to deal with it. And it is a bit galling that we've conceded again that way as well. Let's just hope, James Ward-Prowse doesn't get any free kicks or corner that many corners next week, because we know what he can do when he can put the ball on the proverbial sixpence kind of thing. So it was disappointing. It was very disappointing to see that.
Our best defender from corners and free kicks in that area for a long time has been Kane, hasn't it?
Yeah,
He's
on the front
better
post,
defending.
yeah.
He's better defending set pieces than any of our centre backs, which
More
is great.
as good as well, you know.
Mora's got a good leap on him, to be fair. So, but when those two are probably more commanding from a corner or a set piece, that is quite worrying, really. You know, it'd be nice if we could get. Dyer's been fantastic, but you'd have thought he'd be a little bit more commanding in those situations, and he doesn't seem to be. He seems to get people can get round the back.
He's quite static at set play.
People can sort of get
for all the things I like about him. I don't think he's great at defending set plays at all. He's a lot of the problem actually because he's your sort of linchpin in the centre. He's the organiser.
I think he's been fantastic, but I think it's like Paul said. You've got a goalkeeper who's a good goalkeeper, but he doesn't come off his line and command the box. You don't see him shouting and bawling and telling people where to go, and he's gonna if the ball's there, he's gonna come through and clean everyone. The guy who plays in the middle, your centre half, who does all the organising, isn't great at it. I think Romero is a good player, but I don't think he's fantastic in the air at those situations. And Sanchez probably is one of the better ones in the air, but obviously he was on the pitch then, wasn't he? But when Kane and Mora, two of the best, probably are the two best at defending set pieces, that's not great.
No, I agree. I completely agree with you.
It's
cool.
So, just out of interest, does anybody know the set piece coach we got? Is he just attacking set pieces or defensive as well?
I thought it was both.
I thought it was both as well.
But
so if it's both, that could be useful.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be useful, but they need to do something, and they need to do something quick. Whether that's sign a new centre back, I'm pretty certain we're going to move forward. Obviously, with letting Joe Rodon go, which we will absolutely come to. Everyone watching, you'll be pleased. Tanganga's going. You'll be pleased to know we've got a Rodon mind, hot on the heels of Lamella mind last season. We've got Rodon mind here as Paul's in the tutor room tonight, so that to look forward to. It will be interesting to see where we finish the window, I think, in terms of what we add. Do you think people were overreacting a little bit? People were screaming for James Maddison or signing similar to James Maddison on Twitter after that. Is the world overreacting, Paul?
Our fan base, I'm surprised, got any cartilage left in its knees at times because it's so knee-jerk. I don't think Maddison would have helped that on Saturday. I think, that we would have probably gone 3-4-1-2, probably put Maddison behind probably Son and Kane, or Kulu and Kane, or Son and Kulu, whatever the front two were going to be. And I just think their DM would have just snuffed out a Maddison or an attacking midfielder in the 10 position. I still believe that if we are going to change it, we'll probably drop Harry back there to be a 9.5, because we know he's the best passer of the ball. We know the intelligent running of Kulu, we know the intelligent running of Son, and we're going to have we'll have wing backs that will fly forward in Perisic.
And you've got Richarlison as well to go up.
You've got Richarlison as well, who's been who's a cute player as well. To answer your question, caller, there was a lot of knee jerk. There was a lot of knee jerk. It's always the same. I don't think we'll get an attacking midfielder. I just don't think we will. We're going to get out if we go into a bidding war, which I don't think we will with Newcastle by the looks of things. They'll just blow the water. They will. The Conte and having Champions League football has been over egged by our fan base, because it comes down to money in the end, and a Newcastle will pay more, or a United will pay more on the signing on fee, like Div Eriksson. Yeah, that's just the way it is.
I think it can help you get some players, but also some players will always be out of reach. Right, Perisic.
Would you take Maddison?
Yeah, 100%.
Would you?
110, 150%. I think he's a cracking player. He's just come back off the back of his most productive season ever.
Right.
What would be your ceiling?
What would be your ceiling to pay for him? 2 years left in his deal. 28 years old.
See, I would have said 50 mil tops. I'd say if you say that Richarlison's worth
Oh.
50 million. I think Maddison's worth 50 million. Yeah, and I'm not sure if that gets him, to be honest, because I think they'd be looking for more like 60. So again, it's like we have got the money. Do you want to put all the eggs in one basket? It depends how important that player is to Conte and his system at the end of the day, and he will decide that. If you look at the in the nose on Twitter this evening, they're saying Conte has decided against Maddison, against signing Maddison, and it's more likely we'll sign someone like Zaniolo. So we shall see what happens with it. I do think we will sign an AM. I know you disagree, Paul. That's fine. I do think we will get an AM because I do think they want that change in formation. But would it be Maddison? Probably not. Probably not on what we're willing to pay, I would imagine.
I said this in the group the other day. I think we may get an attacker, but I think Conte works a lot on his structure of the team in our formation and tactics all week. I think you're more likely to see like maybe a Zaniolo, or maybe I mentioned him the other week. I'm not saying we'll get him or we go for him or that's who I want, but someone like St. Maximum who can sort of go out wide, who can take a player on and commit players and do something slightly different to our other sort of wide men. So we draw
it is.
Well, oh God, no. So we draw players out and make space that way. And that way Conte can stick to his system, but just change possibly the tactics and the personnel rather than change everything to stick Maddison in like as a number 10. That's what I think Conte, just from what I see and what I, the vibes I get, I think he'd rather stick with that because he'll work on that system all week. That's what he does, doesn't he? He likes players to be get in certain positions, to receive the ball in certain positions. It's all about that. That's what it's all about. So I think he'd rather sort of change personnel and so if he brought someone like St. Maximum on to do that type of thing, I think he'd rather do that than a
So Maximum's a game changer. Adama can be a game changer. Just not. I know, like there's a.
When has he ever changed a game?
I lost Tom's for Wolves. He's had lots of good games for Wolves. You are judging him very harshly on what you've seen.
I don't think he's got the. I think Maximum's probably got a little bit more quality in front of goal, and with that final pass, like say Maximum will probably beat 2 or 3 players, and he'll slide a ball. Whereas Adama would beat 2 or 3 players, and then it Rose head with a cross.
But it's about who's attainable. So Maximum ain't attainable out of Newcastle.
You're asking sorry, mate. Go on.
Sorry, mate. They were saying that there was a clause in St. Maximum's contract that a Champions League club comes in for him, and you could get him for 40 million. I'm not saying he's the guy that we should get. I was just trying to think of players that
kind of player
do that role. Yeah, and he was the one who first come to my mind. I can't really think of anyone else now. But
I would take him for 40.
Game changers. We do need some game changers.
But he's exciting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get off. A bit like Ginola, you get up off his seat and to watch him, don't he?
Son can sort of do that.
Excited about St. Maximum over Traore because Traore's stats aren't that worse than St. Maximum, but still, we shall see. Go Google it, Steve. Go have a look.
I'm doing a podcast.
But I don't think
Google doing a podcast.
I don't think Conte will get it. I don't think he'll want like a Maddison. Obviously, he didn't want Ericsson, really, did he? I don't think he'll go down that route. I don't think he's interested in that at all.
Well, Zaniolo is the one that he's rumoured to want, and he is a creative player, isn't he?
He can do few roles though as well, can't he? He's not, he can play up top or as a number 10 or so.
We shall see.
A highly structured coach and who's got his systems. I just don't think he's going to throw that kind of agent of chaos like an Adama or a San Maxima, or he's going to want people that are going to follow his automations. When you get the ball in this position, you're a player A. Player B will move. C is already moving. B will hit C, and then you will go as a third man run into the box, and you will go that way. It will be automations.
That's it. I couldn't think of the word. Sorry,
I don't believe it will be. I hear what Steve said. It's when Lennon got the ball at the old lane, we all should stand up and the chairs used to like fold against, and it was that noise that I called the Aaron Lennon noise. I don't think we're going to get that. I'd love it.
I think you're probably right.
I'd love it. We all pay top cash to go and see the game. We want to be entertained, but I don't believe that Conte will have that within his system. I'd love to be proven wrong. Maybe I will.
Might be.
But
No,
I
think
can't.
you're probably right, mate.
Be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah,
Sorry, caller, but just say, because obviously we played 3-5-2 against Liverpool, didn't we? Can you remember? And we played well. I know they weren't at full strength, neither were we. We played well, and you thought there's some legs in this. And then the next game, mate, it was gone. It was back to as soon as he could, back to 3-4-3, and we carried on like that. And we didn't go 3-5-2 again, no matter how much.
It was enforced,
yeah, but we played okay, didn't we? It sort of suited the
really
players
well.
we had. And Buddy was
Really
just
well.
like, nah, that's it. I've had to play that because of injuries and whatever.
Yeah, the only thing is, Gibbo, I mean, he played that formation at Inter with exceptional results.
Because he had Lukaku and Martinez, didn't he? But obviously he sees what he came to Spurs as, that we are better suited to 3-4-3. And that's what he's sort of sticking to.
I don't think you pay 60 million for a forward player that's going to sit on the bench if you play 3-5-2. I just don't see it. I just don't see him doing that. So Richarlison. Well, that's what I'm about to talk about. I don't think Richarlison would have bought him if we're going to go 2 up top, because then we've still got Mora, Akulu, and then to bring Richarlison through for the price we paid for him shows I think we're going to pay 3 up top for the majority of games. I do believe that, and I think Richarlison costs so much money because he is, as you've all said in previous kind of YouTubes, is that he is kind of like he can play left, right, and through the middle. He done it for Watford, and he done it for Everton. So I think we're going to stick with 3 up top unless we have an injury crisis, and touch wood, we don't.
Well, one player who has left the club today, it's been formally announced. I know it's a big thing. It's a big thing. I know you might need to take a moment, Paul. But Joe Rodon has it's confirmed that he's joined Rennes, who obviously got a little bit shirty with us last season in the Conference League, on loan for the season with an option to make the move permanent for a fee in the region of 20 million euros.
Absolute bargain.
Before we go any further, I'd just like to say there's 64 people watching. There's only 24 likes. So 40 of you haven't hit it. Please smash that like button. Because you're going to want to spread this next segment far and wide. This is going to be the most watched moment on YouTube because we have Lamella Mind, not Lamella Mind, the follow-up to Lamella Mind coming, Rodon Mind. We can go back to Lamella Mind anytime you like. But firstly, Paul, what did Joe Rodon mean to you?
I like players that come through. They're not, I like us finding like rough diamonds, your Dele Allis, your Kyle Walkers, and people like this. I really enjoy that when we unearth these players from the lower leagues. I thought Joe was going to be that as well. Watched a little bit at Swansea, thought he looked really, really good, and then he came to us, and I had high hopes, and I started watching the Welsh games, and he was excellent in the middle of a back three with Ben Davies, and let's be honest, players not of the same standard around him as him and Ben, and he played really, really well. Blocked, marshalled as well, stepped up at the right time, commanded, very, very good in the air as well, and I had really, really kind of high hopes for him. And then obviously what happened. Mason didn't pick him. Jose didn't pick him, and he had an injury. And then Mason obviously was caretaker, didn't pick him as well. And then Nuno, we found, was out of his depth, so he's not going to throw a young centre back into a Premier League first 11. So then that leaves Conte, who said last season he was a backup for Dyer. But then it came out that really wasn't the case. It's just a shame. He needed to go for his own career. He needed to go to get fit and strong and sharp for Qatar. For one reason and another, he didn't get a chance. For whatever reason, maybe there was something in training people were seeing. We don't know. We're guessing. All I'm saying is what I saw at Swansea and what I saw against Chelsea when Jose dropped him in from nowhere. He did all right. He gave one pass away in Chelsea. I was there, and it's a shame because I think, I know he's not young. He's 24, 25, I believe. yeah, for his career, he had to go. It's just a real shame because I thought he could be really, really good. He's never going to be Romero standard. You know, Romero's a Rolls Royce, and let's be honest, Joe Ro's a bit of an Audi. But it's a shame to see him go. He's better than Ren as well. He's much better than Ren level, which is I find very, very weird. And it leaves us short at the back if Tanganga does go. So yeah, I know we mentioned this a bit earlier. Maybe we'll go in to we'll get another centre back in before the window closes. It's just a shame to see him go.
Muir.
Yes, mate.
You say Rodon's better than Ren, but we weren't as a club, so
no.
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's going to a better club than us.
Oh, we would have beat Ren, Steve. Steve, we beat Ren. We're better. We're better. They've got 2 or 3 really good teams in that league, and that's it. You're telling me a Southampton or somebody like a Forest or someone even like them couldn't have done with Joe Rodon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fitting in. Kind of, I just don't understand. It seems very, very strange that he's gone to a club of that standard, and it's a bit disrespectful. I understand that, but it is what it is. He's gone, and for 20 million, we recoup most of the money we spent on him. It's a gamble. It didn't work out for whatever reason. I fully expect him not to beat Spurs next season.
I'm not sure they'll sign him for 20 million though.
They'll have to, won't they? If that's
it's not an obligation; it's an option.
It's an option. It's an option.
Yeah, it's an option. It's an option. So we shall see. We shall see what happens with that. But without further ado, now that Steve is back from his comfort break, we have got this beautiful graphic prepared. Yeah. Let us know what you think of that in the comments. And we've got
who designed that, Owen? Was that you?
It was indeed me. I knocked it up in all of 30 seconds, as you can tell.
Changing a nappy and knocked that up at the same time.
That's right. Yeah. Rocking a baby to bed. So you can play along at home with this. So 68 of you watching. So by all means, hit the like button while you're playing along. That would be good. There's still only 28 likes, which is shameful. And we've got 8 questions. 8 questions on Joe Rodon's time at Spurs and his career. Just so we can reminisce a little bit, Paul, about happier days. So yeah.
I'm gonna get these all wrong.
Note your answers down. Drop them in the chat. We'll do the answers one by one. So, how old will Joe Rodon be by the time the World Cup starts?
26, I believe.
Paul says 26. Gibbo?
25.
Steve?
I'm on 25.
It is 25. Paul, it turns out you don't know him as well as you think.
Sorry, Joe.
Okay. Question number 2. How many appearances in all competitions has Joe Rodon made for Spurs? Do you want to have a guess, Gibbo?
23.
23. Paul, any advance on 23?
I'd say 16 or 17.
17. He was never given a chance. Steve?
That's a trick. Ambush.
24.
24. 24 is correct. I've got a sneaky feeling Steve is Googling right now. I tell you.
No, do you want to know why I went for 24? Gibbo went 23 and I thought he'd be higher, so I just went for 24.
Between you and Gibbo, you need to leave off Google. Yeah.
I don't need. I won't Google, mate.
Okay. Question number 3. We don't want anyone doing a HG. Question 3. Against who did Rodon make his debut as a 93rd minute sub? Paul, you must remember this. It must have been the moment.
Oh shit, I was there. It was at New White Hart Lane. I grabbed Celia. I grabbed John in front of me. I can't remember.
Okay,
that's awful. That's awful.
I'm going to come back to you, Mr. Muir. Gibbo?
I'd say it's a game we were winning if we're bringing a centre back on in the 93rd minute. I don't know, so I'm going to Was it Arsenal?
Okay, and Stevie.
I think it was Everton.
Is it
Okay,
Watford?
no, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. It was Burnley, believe it or not, in the 93rd minute. And here's the follow-on question: who did he come on for?
Eric Dyer.
Yeah, I was going to say Dyer.
No. Steve, do you want to have a go?
Winks.
No. Sonny, believe it or not. They took greatness off and put greatness on. Question number 5.
Sorry,
Who
Joe.
did he make? Who did he make his first start for the club against?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea.
Chelsea is correct. Well done.
Chelsea.
Very good. Very good. Question 6. Joe Rodon signed in October 2020, halcyon days, for a fee reported to be £11 million. How long was the contract he signed?
5 years.
4 years.
Steve?
It's going to be one or other, isn't it? 5.
Well, the contract was actually 16 pages long. 5 years.
How do you know
The
this?
answer. It's a joke. It's a joke. So it's one. It's a
long was the
scripted
contract?
John joke. Actually, it was
Dad
a
joke.
5-year contract. Right. Question 7. This is where they get really interesting. Only 2 to go. There's still time to salvage this, Paul. There's still time. Question 7. How many Welsh caps has Joey Rodon got?
30. I saw this today as well.
I'll give you a clue. It's more than the
Go on.
appearances he made for Spurs.
34.
34. Steve?
35.
35. Gibbo?
I'll go 33. I was going to say 34.
You're all playing the percentages, aren't you?
I was going to say 34.
He's got 28.
Is that it?
28. Yeah. And lastly, but absolutely no means least, question number 8. How many career goals does Joey Rodon have?
Career goals
3.
for what? Swansea and
Whole
Spurs.
career. Yep.
Yeah, 4.
4. Gibbo?
I think I said 3.
3. Stevie?
I thought he did it right at Swansea, didn't he? Scoring a few goals. So I'm going to go a bit rogue and go for 6.
Well, the answer is 0.
Oh,
there
we
you
know
go.
him well.
There you
Sorry,
go.
Joe. Sorry, Joe.
Man of mystery, Joe Rodon.
Super Joe.
one that
Wasn't
got
he
away- the one
reported
that
when he
got
came
away.
to us? I thought he was a goal-scoring centre-back when he came to us, but clearly not.
Clearly not. No, clearly not. Clearly not. There you go. So goodbye, Joey Rodon. It's been nice knowing you.
Been
And you never know.
emotional,
In my opinion, he'll be back because there's no way they're paying 20 million euros for a centre back who's possibly going to sit on the bench there.
Will he be on the bench there? He'll
No.
surely get.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know who they've got, but I just hope that he plays and I hope he resurrects his career because I've got nothing against the guy. I think he's been a bit unlucky, really. Spurs was proved to be the wrong move for him, but we did not know that at the time. If you enjoyed that quiz, go on, Gibbo.
Surely him and his team wouldn't have agreed the move if he wasn't going to sort of not be guaranteed games because you can't guarantee players games, but a very, very good chance that he was going to be a starting centre back. It'd have been a pointless move otherwise, wouldn't it, for him?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. So we shall see. Look, I believe Paul is getting Eurosport as we speak, so he can keep watching Joey. So I'm sure Paul will keep us in the loop with how he's getting on.
Get his Ren shirt off kit bag.
That's it. Absolutely.
Oh, Gibbo. That's where you get paid the big
slip.
dollars, Gibbo. That's where you get paid the big dollars. Look at that.
You knows it.
Nice link.
Well, if you like that quiz, you might like some of the other features of being a Patreon. If you're not already a patron, check it out. It's patreon.com/Cheesering Podcast. It is £3 a month. Some of the benefits are in no particular order. Fantasy Football League, which there's some stunning prizes for. There's the Predictor Score League, which our resident quizmaster Seb runs every year very well. Really good, predict the results every week, and a great prize. I think we're doing a signed shirt or something for the prize this season. There is chat rooms, matchday chat rooms, transfer chat, manager chat, really popular with our patrons. Everyone really likes those. There is also some merch when you pass your 6-month anniversary. None of them are modelling it tonight, but it does exist, I promise. We've got the footage somewhere of various people in it. Paul's just looking in case he's left his mug or T-shirt lying around. But
I'm actually looking for it right now. No, it's downstairs.
But do check that out. As I say, it is patreon.com/cheese room podcast. And even if I do say so myself, it's an excellent offering. Next up, let's talk about some of the transfer news, hey? So Lo Celso to Villarreal. This is something that's happening. I believe that no agreement, but he's been seen in Spain, hasn't he, Lo Celso, I believe, Steve? You aware of this?
Yeah, it was on his Instagram or other social media platform, wasn't it? Can't remember which one, but yeah, absolutely. And I think it'd be a good move for him, be a good move for us. And yeah, he didn't quite work out, but I'd have no hard feelings for him moving on. Yeah, I think he probably played as well as he could have done. Just didn't quite fit us, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's. I think, as Becky's saying, the fee is only like £12.5 million.
That's quite low.
50 million euros. So I think this is what. Say again, Paul.
Is that all? Really?
Yeah, season loan, 15 million euros is the fee that they're offering for Lo Celso. So I think Spurs are probably holding out for a little bit more money because it doesn't feel like a great return on a player we spent sort of 45 million on.
About 35, wasn't it? Was it
35?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Clearly, I don't think we're going to let him go for that, but unless we're desperate.
But that's the issue, isn't it? We need to, and yeah, we've done this time and time again. We haven't gotten people off our books before. And I think we're a bit more ruthless now. You know, look at how we kind of got Aurier off, Dombele putting him out on loan, Lo Celso putting him out on loan.
I think with this, you've got to consider there is normally a loan fee. So where they're saying 15 million, it might be that the loan fee is 5 million euros, for example. And there's an option to buy for 15 million or an obligation to buy for 15 million at the end of it. So I think we know what the fee is that's being suggested, but we don't know the loan fee. And we also don't know what loan fee we received from last season, etc. Sorry, Paul.
And they paid 100% of the wages, or is it like what we did with Adebayo, or do we pay for mass 20% and they pay 80%, or do they? I guess that's down to the individual deal, isn't it?
Yeah, that we don't know. Yeah. All down to the original deal. So yeah, I personally wouldn't sell for £12.5 million, but who knows what the truth is around that. I'm sure it will all come out in a wash. One thing's for sure, we can't keep him at the club ongoing, I don't think. There's also been discussions with Villarreal around Ndombele, with the possibility of swapping Ecuadorian left back Pervis Espenunen. Is that how you say it?
I was looking forward to you pronouncing that.
Espenunen, I don't know. But anyway, Pervis. Let's just call him Pervis. There's talks about that swap being considered. Galatasaray are back in for Tanguy. He's heard the kebabs are very good over there. So he's definitely tickling his belly. We've got to get these players off the books, haven't we, Paul?
We aren't going to get rid of Tanguy. We aren't going to get rid of him.
Well, even if it's on loan, we've got to get him off the books.
Yeah, you're right, and that will be we'll pay 30% or 40% of 200,000. So we'll pay. I don't know. We'll pay quite a lot, won't we? Because of the pound. Yeah, the pound obviously. Yeah, it's. And Dombele's costing us so much money. You know, that deal we gave him is just someone
ridiculous.
Needs give up exactly, wasn't it? It's to give that guy that deal, that money, and what we paid. It's just,
really poor judgment on the club. That was
it a 5 or a 6 year contract?
5 year contract, I believe. 5. £60 million, €60 million, and 198 to 200,000 a week.
So his salary is £52 million across the contract if it's a 5-year deal.
But the rumours are his salary is 100k and then bonuses take it to 200. I don't know whether they're true. They're kind of Twitter and other press rumours. So
we can get him off the books for that.
I agree, but it may not be as bad as it looks.
All right, well, let's meet in the middle and say it's 40 million in wages over 5 years, conservative estimate, and then
you've got quite in the middle.
No, it's not in the middle, but it's upper because I can't see it being $100,000 a week. And then you've got 55-60 million transfer fee, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
So that deal plus his signing on fee and his agent's signing on fee, which isn't even mentioned. So you're probably looking at 110 to 120 million deal there.
And people know now.
That just fucks me off. Sorry.
People know we don't want him as well. People know we don't want him now. So it's not as if like we've not got any leverage with that because people know we want him off. We want him out the door. So nobody's going to come along and offer us a really good deal, are they?
No.
Pretty much the same with Lo Celso, really. I know we're saying 12.5 million is not enough, but people know we don't want these players. They know that we want them out the door, regardless, really. So
if they're taking the wages, then that's a big chunk of it. Sorry, Steve.
That's right. Sorry, I butted as well. But all I was going to say, at least Gio played well last year on his loan.
Yeah.
Player, and you know you're going to get something out of him. Tangy.
And he plays well for Archie's, doesn't he? Argentina plays very well for them. So
he's good international. And Ndombele doesn't want to play for us. We don't want him to play for us. Everybody knows that. And I don't think anybody would want him to play for them. Certainly not on the lifestyle and wage and etc. he's accustomed to.
It could come to a point with him where if we can get him a loan this year and one next year, we'll end up paying him off to leave. We'll end up coming up with some sort of deal to get rid of him. People know we don't want him.
The criminal thing with Ndombele is his talent is just incredible. It's just such a shame. It's such a shame.
But he's financially made. He's financially made now.
Yeah.
If you stuck 5 million of that money he's got from Spurs in something that gives him a 20% return, that's it for life, isn't it? Basically, you know what I'm saying? He's just got him. He's financially made now. It doesn't matter if he plays or he doesn't play, or he plays for Jose or he plays on loan at Annecy or Marseille or wherever he ends up next. It doesn't matter. He's financially. I just don't think that he's interested in making the most of his talent. He's not Harry Kane. He's not a Son.
I've thought of a way around this.
Okay, go.
You've got to find a way to sack him so you don't have to pay up his contract.
That will never happen. I can't see that happening. I don't know how you get that.
Lots of ways. You and those people.
Let's get it done.
Yeah. Get in a van. No, get in a van. I got a gun.
Stick some steroids in his breakfast or something. Ban him for drug taking. Job done.
Might be worth playing him if you did that.
All jokes aside, it's just such a shame that he's ended up like this. It really is.
Huge amount of talent.
It's pointless. He's irrelevant to Tottenham Hotspur, like the team and everything. Just literally not worth talking about. We just need to move him on, and if we don't, he just won't play. He'll be sat round doing nothing. He's literally. It's nothing. He's nothing to us, is he? He's just a bloke who turns up to training and he just sits around the training ground eating donuts. Do you know what I mean? It's like a complete waste of time. All right, Tangy, what are you up to today? Got myself a pack of donuts. I'll watch you fools run round. I'll earn 200 grand a week.
All right. Just imagine. There are players earning 200 grand a week that put the effort in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's irrelevant.
I'd love to see Tangy's Deliveroo and Uber Eats account going to Hotspur Way. It must be absolutely mental. Just a row of Deliveroo drivers and their little scooters queuing up.
Queuing up for Tommy. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's,
It'd be like at school.
It is a waste.
Jamie Oliver did that campaign and all the mums and dads went to the chippies and kind of passed chips through the fence. I'd be doing like that.
Yeah. I would Homer Simpson on the books.
That's gonna be a
It's naughty, really, talking about him like that. It could come good.
I mean, you say naughty, I say lazy asshole earning $100K a week.
Yeah.
So,
Waste of space,
we're
isn't
all
it?
paying for. So
Yeah, it's not the best, is it? It's not the best look.
Let's
let's
move
not talk
on.
about Glovegate.
Let's move on. There's some fixture changes happening. Arsenal away remains Saturday, the 1st of October, 12:30 p.m. Will you still be in the flat then, Steve?
That's terrible. They've moved the North London derby to 12:30.
Yes,
Yeah.
bad.
Yes. Yeah.
I won't be renting the flat, but I'll still have access to it. So yeah, I'll be physically.
All round to yours then to watch the
why not?
half.
Sure, the baby will love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Brighton and Hove Albion remains Saturday 8th, however, now a 5:30 kickoff. So we're getting lots. The people who love Saturday kickoffs, there's a few Saturday kickoffs this season, isn't there? Which there hasn't been for a long time. And Everton remains Saturday the 15th of October, kickoff now 5:30 p.m. So lots of changes. Messes the fans about a bit, doesn't it, Paul?
Depends where you live. If you live up on in north of Watford, where you live, I mean, then sorry, caller. I guess it does muck you around a little bit, but I think North London derby being moved to 12:30 is a bit of a. I just think it's a bit of a piss take, to be honest. I think
From a police perspective, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Or BT have just thrown a little bit of cash at it and thought, yeah, we'll have that. Thanks very much. But yeah, 12:30. Steve, you'll be there, won't you? So we'll round yours and watch yours from the balcony, on your balcony.
Yeah. Technically, it's a terrace, not a balcony, but that's fine.
I love a technicality.
Right, seriously.
Why does he do this? There's
Just
no
avoid.
There's
Just
no
avoid.
boxes in. There's no boxes in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Just suites.
Well, there's not.
Oh god.
Loads.
Yeah, just
Love
avoid
it.
Gibbo. Just avoid what we can now call a corner where he vommed.
Yeah, you do want to avoid that at all costs, really.
Right,
I'd hose that thing down next
Let's
time.
move on from that as well.
Yeah, I remember cleaning it up actually at the time.
Hey, you did a fairly good job.
I actually did. I went out there in the morning. I was like, it's like it never happened.
Not that good a job.
Only Bournemouth away on October the 29th remains the same as originally planned. So lots of chances to see Spurs on the telly, I suppose. That's one way of looking at it. Yeah, that's good. Right, who watched the football yesterday then? There we go. Lucas Moore put it in there. Congratulations, ladies. I do like that line. As a resident of England, I feel very happy for you. It's good, isn't it? He's a good egg.
Surprised you didn't say coys.
The sad thing is, there's no female Spurs players in the England side, is there? It's tragic. It's full of gooners, unfortunately. But did you watch the game, guys? Did you watch the game?
Yes.
Good for some. I tell you what, the women's game has come a long way. I thought it was a decent game, competitive. They showed everything the men's team haven't got. Courage when it gets tough, dug in. What a great
cliche
game.
corner.
Cliche corner, if you like. Yeah, but it was good though, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
It's exciting. I thought, the first goal was like awesome from us. Really good move. Defensively, obviously pretty weak. But great ball, great cracking finish. And yeah, it was an exciting game of football. And I tell you what, if that was a men's game, a lot of those male players would still be rolling around on the Wembley pitch, crying after some of those tackles. And I've noticed it when I've seen women's football like live in person as well. Some of the tackles that go in, and they get straight back up and get aggy with the other player. You see it in a men's game, and they're crying around on the floor. So that's one stereotype kind of knocked on my head, isn't it? Yeah, it's an exciting game, isn't it? And of course we won. We also did something that England never do. We went 1 up, and then we still tried to attack. Whereas what we did when we were in the same situation, the men's team
Mm.
went one up, sat back, and we all knew what was going to happen.
I mean, if that was Southgate's side, it'd be like, part of the bus, wouldn't it?
Yep.
No, Wiegman as a coach is world class. They all get behind her. She's highly planned from what I've been reading over this tournament. She has like a plan for A, B, C, D, E, and then even sometimes F. Really, really very, very good player manager, with the team. She stuck with the same starting 11, even in dead rubbers, and some of those players didn't get any minutes at all during the tournament, but they all like jumped and screamed, and they were there's a lot of buy-in. That's what I'm trying to say, from the squad, and that all comes from the manager. We see that with Conte. We saw it. We didn't see it with Nuno. Didn't really see it with Jose for Tottenham, but we see it with Conte that there's buy-in there from the majority of the squad, and that was very evident from Wiegman. She's a great coach. She could go to the Prem, I think, with a middle to lower Prem team and do well. That manager, she's quality.
Has she won it before, Paul?
She won it
last time.
She won it last time in 2019. 2017.
Who was she in charge of then? Holland.
The Netherlands.
She's never never lost a game.
She's never lost.
Well,
great.
Play.
Gareth Southgate replacement just there, sorted.
Yeah. She somebody like her will be the first female Prem manager.
Do you not think the Chelsea manager?
No.
I think no. She's quite highly thought of, though, isn't she? Yeah.
I'd be really interested. I've got season tickets for Tottenham ladies season. I'm looking forward to seeing Chelsea when they come and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's a patch on Wiegman. I think she's good. Don't get me wrong, she's good. But
yeah,
I think Wiegman. I think 22 blokes in the dressing room will listen to her. I'm not too sure they'll listen to the girl at Chelsea, the lady at Chelsea. I'm not sure. I think
because I've never really watched women's football before. I haven't. I'll be honest. But whenever I've heard Emma Hayes talk, I think fair. When I'm sort of get engaged to what she's talking about, I think she's decent. So, like, obviously, I've heard about the lady who's managing the England team at the moment, and the same there. And her stats and everything you're saying are pretty impressive. So, I was just asking if either of them could manage in the Premier League eventually.
I think Hayes could. Well, she could. She could definitely manage. I don't think she'd be successful as Wiegman. I just think Wiegman is totally organised, and she'll get the team to run through a brick wall for her, male or female, and that's what you want. You want your team to be a direct kind of carbon copy, don't you, of your manager? If you got a decent manager, and that's what you get. Yeah, just don't give up. They're just like so mentally strong. Getting kicked around. Mentality by the Spanish, by the Swedes for kicking them around as well. Went one down in the semi. Didn't panic. She threw the subs on, and as Steve said, great football. Stayed to her principles. They never panicked. That goalie, under like pressure, never panicked. Those two centre backs, absolute rocks, a pair of them. And then with like the midfield that would always stick to their principles. It's great. It's really, really good. Some of the stuff I read today, and it's not saying it's just nonsense. It's good. It's a good game. It's good. You get a chance to go to Leighton Orient this year to see mostly Sundays, 2:00. Apart from the opening game, which is at the Tottenham Stadium against Man U, go and see them. I saw them a few times when they played at Barnet. I think Steve went up as well. They're good. It's a good game. It's good. It's good. And obviously very well attended last night. 87,000 people.
Yeah, there was a good attendance, wasn't there?
I know it's all families. I know it's all like it might be young females, but that's the next generation.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No,
exactly.
As a father of two small girls, I think it would be fantastic for the women's game if they grow up in a world where they can play that at school. Play football at school and have the option of being competitive footballers. That's something that kids, my age wouldn't ever have dreamed of doing.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and it really is. It's fantastic to see. Fantastic to see. The women do so well. Sorry, Steve.
Well, it's great. One of my friends, her daughter, just got signed for Spurs. For Spurs women team. Well, girls team academy at the moment. And like I messaged her last night. Well, mum, like she's absolutely buzzing. Like can't wait, loves football, and just imagine how many other kids are kind of behind football now. So I think it's awesome. As Paul said, like good day out. Like it's obviously before anybody says, and I'm sure people will, it's clearly not kind of men's Premier League level, but it's a good entertaining afternoon out for cheap.
But we shouldn't be judging them. We shouldn't be judging them. They are what they are what they are, aren't they? They're not. You can't judge that against that. It's completely agree, different. That's been the men's game at that level has been going. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy it for what it is. That's you're watching like the women's Premier League or the women's national team. Just enjoy it and take it for what it is. Yep. Don't keep trying to compare it to everything else.
It's not the same, but equally, it's not going to be the same for a long time. Men's football's been evolving for over 100 years. Women's football is embryonic still. And the opportunity for young girls to play locally, there isn't that in every town. There isn't that in every school. So it's going to come a long way, and the standard will just ladder up and ladder up and ladder up as it goes. But it's really good what the FA have done with branding it the Lionesses and getting the country behind it, because it's going to inspire girls to want to play, isn't it?
100%. It is. I think 100%, and also Kerry, I didn't have football at school either, so I'm very sad for that. Like,
was it polo or something?
Hockey, cricket, and rugby, and shooting as well, if you have to know.
Shooting.
Archery in the archery team.
And actually,
whilst
I'm digging myself a hole and flying as well, but let's not go into that one.
Hang on. You're not getting away with that. You had flying lessons at school.
Yeah.
Somebody throw you off the top of the building.
No, you went up in a little two-seater chipmunk and bulldog.
It's a normal thing to do.
Did some flying.
Oh, fair dues.
They got their own runway.
They used to. They used to. School used to have a couple of gliders. They used to catapult them off with old Land Rovers, old World War II gliders. So basically pull back a big rubber band and ping it off down the playing fields. But they left.
Someone ping you off down a playing field now, to be honest.
I'll bet
stick you in a glider and ping you like a rubber band. Look, it'd be amazing.
I bet you would. And
the fiver takes orbit.
Traffic control.
Yeah.
I've totally lost what I was going to say.
What were we talking about?
Oh yeah, sorry. So one of the Spurs games I went to last year, the Spurs women's team manager, whose name escapes me momentarily, she gave a speech before the game. She was talking to us, and it was really interesting. I think she said she's been kind of managing for about 10 years. She's been at Arsenal. I think she was from Leicester as well. And she said when she first started off, she was part-time, had to have another job to cover her salary. The players were buying the kit and a lot of the gear. She said, they're buying a lot of their footballs for training. They didn't have proper training facilities. So it was literally an amateur game. Or kind of semi-pro at best. So for it to come, the distance it's come is pretty impressive.
I think yesterday as well. I think it's going to have the legacy that 2012 London Olympics had as well. We are from that games. cycling with Dave Brailsford, and we now dominate track cycling, Commonwealth and Olympic and World Championships. Our swimming from 2012, rowing was always very, very strong. I think, those kind of epoch moments like that, and I think yesterday is one of them as well. I expect we're not going to beat the USA standard because they play at collegiate level. They're much more advanced. There's more money. But I think within the next decade, we will be able to, hopefully have the players to go to a World Cup and give the States or some of the CONCACAF nations, the South American and Central American nations, a bit of a game, the Mexicans, etc., etc. I think it won't be straight away. Even with Wiegman, I don't think it'll be straight away. But hopefully, yesterday is that kind of like that defining moment where the next and the next generation after that as well get inspired and really push forward. Especially now, there's going to be more infrastructure. There's going to be more, as Steve was saying, their professionalism. Rhiannon Skinner is the name of the coach, Steve.
That's it. Thank you.
Rhiannon Skinner.
I did see a few Americans getting a bit aggy, going, "Oh yeah, you've only won the Euros. We've got 4 World Cups. Blah 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 blah." Bunch of knobs, really.
Yeah, well, we that's the facts. But it's everybody's got we all got to start somewhere, and we've started now. And
why is the women's game so much more advanced in America? To any of you guys know?
They played it. They get exposed to it a lot earlier, and you can play it, and you can get scholarships to good universities through playing female soccer. That's the reason why.
Yeah, so like a lot of my American friends, it's more common for the women to play football than the men.
Yeah,
particularly at kind of like high school level. So they start young. Whereas my niece, and I hope this will change, my youngest niece, loves Spurs, loves playing football, but she can only play it in the park with her mates because they don't offer it. She goes to an all-girls school and they just don't offer it. She's got no chance of playing it, and there's very few kind of women's girls teams around for her to go to.
I think there'll be more now, Steve. I think that it'll take off. More, it's been taking off anyway, but it will take off more now. It'll go quicker now. Especially like around London in places like that. There'll be loads of clubs starting up. There will be girls, and there'll be there who will be getting their parents to go in coach team. Like at grassroots, you always need a parent to sort of coach a team, don't you? And I think there'll be more parents who go, yeah, I'll give that a go now. If there's a gang of girls, I think that people like Paul said about earlier, it's about people that will buy in now. After that, the country became invested over this tournament more in the women's game, and I think that's what will happen now. Just evolve, it's just evolution, isn't it? It will just take off even more than it has already.
You'd like to think so. You'd absolutely like to think so. But the important question is, do your American friends have flying lessons at school?
None that I'm aware of. And to answer Davo's question, the football pitch got sold off for building land, unfortunately. So there is no football pitch.
By you.
There you go.
No, unfortunately not.
Not on the rolling valleys of your estate.
Also, in the fens, there aren't any valleys. It's very flat. Very flat. Yeah,
well, I love it. I'm loving it. One thing I wanted to talk about is obviously the season's upon us, where I'm going to take some predictions off you because I'm not sure I don't think any of you are on Friday's show. Maybe Gibbo because he pops up.
No, I'm not on Friday, mate. I'm having a rest.
But I thought it'd be fun. Let's as I won't see you till the game on Sunday.
It's the final of Love Island tonight, mate. So I'm done after tonight. I'm done. No more cheese room. Love Island finishes tonight, mate. You won't see me again. That's it. Till next year.
Saturday. Correction, Saturday, not Sunday.
What time, Owen? What time?
What time Saturday?
Yeah.
Is it 3 o'clocker?
Yes, it's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
It's been a while.
It was. Well, I haven't been to a game for a while. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you at the stadium potentially. But if not, I won't see you till like next week on the show or on the pod. So I want to take your predictions for the season now. So Here we go. I want a couple of things from you, and again, play along with this in chat. Drop your comment. Let us know what you think. How many players will we sign between now and the end of the window, and where are we going to finish? What does your top 4, top 6 look like? And we'll go to Steve first.
I think we're going to sign 2, potentially 3 players. Because there's money in the bank still. We've spent 44 million net.
Well, this is a subject people are getting very animated about at the moment. On
it is, and I wish I wouldn't, because people also get animated when we waste our money buying Dombele. So, kind of let's give the club a bit of time to find a good buy. So I think 2 or 3 players. I think there's money there to spend if they need to, because we had 150 million investment. And before Davo says in the chat, so I know he's typing it now, for on and off the pitch activities investment, for cinema or whatever, Davo. So I think 2 or 3 players, particularly if Tanganga goes, we're going to need another centre back. I think probably Zaniolo-esque player, and then I think a random player anywhere over the pitch, kind of a Van der Vaart final day of the window type signing. Just if somebody's available and they're decent, I think we'll snap them up. If we don't do that, I think we'll be 4th. If we do that, I think we'll be 3rd. And I think we'll push... God, I sound like an Arsenal fan saying we're going to get a trophy for pushing them hard. I think we'll push City and Liverpool reasonably hard if we do get another 2 or 3 players in. I don't think we're there, because they are streets ahead of anybody else in the league. Let's face it. So I think it'll be City, Liverpool, Spurs. I think United will get 5th. Chelsea seem all over the show. I think Arsenal. United 4th. I think Arsenal 5th.
Yeah.
And I think Chelsea 6th.
Okay.
But I think we'll win a cup. Okay.
Gibbo, you've had plenty of time to think about that, because Stevie's given you lots of time to think about that.
Yeah. I think we'll bring 2 in. I think we will go and get another centre back. I don't know what standard it will be. I don't know. I don't think it will be the marquee centre back we're all after, but I think we will go and get another one. I think we'll sign. I think we will sign somebody in a more attacking role. Not exactly sure what it will be. There's a lot of talk about Zaniolo, so possibility about that, isn't there? I said the other day, my heart says we'll finish 3rd, but I think we'll finish 4th, and I think Chelsea will finish above us. I know people say they're in a mess, but and then they're not in great shape. But they've still got
a very good coach, haven't they? Whatever you think.
Yeah, he's a good coach, and like I've said, we've got to get over this thing of not beating them. We very rarely beat them. We sort of mentally they do us a lot of the time. I think we could do it, but I still think we could. When we're talking about window, I'd like us to go and sign a really, because I don't think I think Spence will be good, but I don't think he's going to come in yet. I would prefer us to go out and sign a real top right wing back. I think if you look at Liverpool, I know it is different. We haven't got them, but if that team of ours had Robertson and Trent in, we would be challenging for the title, 100%. But I think we're still short there. I'd like us to sign 3, but I think it will be 2, and I think we'll finish 4th. And with the cups, depends if we have to play Chelsea.
Wow, Mr. Muir.
I think if Tanganga goes to Italy, which looks like he might do, we'll definitely get a centre back, because we're short. We're just short, aren't we? I don't think, as I said earlier at the beginning of the top of the show, I don't think we're going to get an attacking player. I can't see it. I'm worried playing twice a week, because Conte's record is not great playing twice a week.
No, it's not.
It's like 52, 53% win ratio over his career. It's not great. I don't think we'll win a trophy. I think we might go deep. I think we'll get out of our. I think we're good enough to probably go through to knockout stage of the Champions League. I think we are the third best team at the moment in the country, but it's playing twice a week. Worries me. So I'll say we will finish fourth. I think it'll be City, Liverpool. I think Chelsea, even though they are in shit straight at the moment, I think we'll get it together. As you say, Tuchel is elite. He's good. And then Man U, and then probably Newcastle. Does that answer everything? Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's what I think.
I think it'd be interesting. I mean, my personal view is I think we're going to sign a centre-back. I think we're going to sign an attacking midfielder. And I wouldn't be surprised to see us sign another forward. I don't think we're going to get another right wing back. I wish we would, because I wish we'd have spent really big on the right wing back and the left wing back, if I'm being really honest, because I see those two positions as absolutely crucial.
I'm surprised we haven't really.
I think it's just the availability. I just think it's the availability of who's there. Like
maybe
I don't think the players we want are available. It's like Bastoni. It's not a cash issue. It's a he don't want to come issue. We have to be realistic about that. So I think we'll sign 2 to 3 more, and I think there'll be outgoings, because I think we will get rid of Tongi. I think we will get rid of the Celso. I think we will get rid of Winks, and so on and so on and so on.
I think
even if it's loans, Winks will be Palace, Southampton, someone at that level.
John, if John's watching, I saw who John knows who I work with. I think Winks will go to Palace.
I would love Gooey from Palace. I'd love us if we're going to sign a homegrown player. That would be a great centre back to go for.
Money.
Not Gay. Gay, is it? Gooey? I can't.
Yeah, he won the under-17, under-19 World Cup.
Yeah.
And he's quality. I went to Arsenal Palace last season at home, and sat in the home end, and Gay was incredible. He's a captain. He's top draw. Give her your spot on. We won't get him.
He'd be worth putting the money out for, because if he's that good, you've got him for a long time. We sign up people on long-term deals. You've got him for the future as well, and he's decent now. He's good enough to play for us now. Do you know what I mean? That is worth the investment.
Yeah.
He won't.
And if we
they won't sell him. They won't sell him.
Well, as I was saying, I think we're going to finish above Chelsea, and I think we're going to give Liverpool a good run for their money, because I think they've got a lot of settling in that side to do. I think City will run away with it this season. I really do. I know Liverpool beat them in the Championship, but I wouldn't read too much into that at all. So it'll be interesting.
Twice in the season. It's not for everybody. I mean, only certain clubs can do that. Beat City twice in the season, and there's no reason why we can't do it again. Doesn't matter about Haaland.
I think when they've got Haaland landing there and hits the ground, once he gets his confidence up and they work out how to play to his strengths, I think they look really good. I think Liverpool, they've got obviously that new striker to bed in, haven't they? Nunes, he scored, didn't he, in the Charity Shield? I saw it. It was a bit of a tap in, though, to be honest. So, I could have finished that.
The thing with City is, if City get on a roll, then that's when they become.
They can win 10, 15.
They are hard to stop. Then,
yeah. So we'll see. It'll be an exciting season. I do think we'll get in the top 4. I think I am worried about the scum down the road, to be honest, because I think again they've strengthened and I think they're playing nice football. But I think they're fragile mentally. That's what I would say with Arsenal, and we saw that at the end of last season.
Defensively as well. Let's face it.
Yeah,
so I'm going to say, I'm going to say we're going to be 3rd. There you go. I'll put my neck out on the block, and I think maybe Goons fourth, but I think it'll be a tussle. It'll be a real tussle, and I think Newcastle will be in the mix at some stage as well.
I think Newcastle will be in the mix if they get Maddison for 65, 70 or whatever Fabrizio's talking about at the moment. Yeah, Bruno Guerres is a great,
he's quality player. He is.
He was the buy. Okay, Kulusevski's got to run him close, but he's made such a difference to that team. And how is not the mug? Eddie Howe's a very, very good forward-thinking coach. At Bournemouth, they hang him out to dry a little bit at Bournemouth, but at Newcastle, he's building something slowly. You know, he's not flashing loads of money. They're not getting like 7 or 8 different players. They're getting quality players. They got that centre back that I wanted. They're gonna get if they get Maddison, him and Bruno G in the middle. Yeah, they'll be. You're right, Owen. They'll be thereabouts. Well,
he kept him up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Very underrated. Like very underrated.
He's underrated.
And let's face it, he got us Champions League as well.
Yeah.
And at some point, they'll be able to spunk out for a top forward, won't they? Because they've got the money. You know, they've got all these players, and Callum Wilson's okay. Chris Wood and that. But at some point, they'll go for a top forward, and they'll be able to get them, won't they? Because they've got the clout behind them.
2 to 3 seasons evolution at Newcastle. That's what you're going to see.
Harry Kane?
No. I think the other thing is Conte's alluded that he's going to sign a new deal, hasn't he? So he's been sort of talking longer.
If he gets backed and things are going well, he will.
And to be fair, in the same sentence, he also said deals are basically totally irrelevant to him. Let's face it, if he's annoyed, he'll just walk off. Like, he's not. Like, he'll just walk away from a club. So I don't like. It's great, and read into it. You know, like it's great, and he's happy because the amount of people, Tottenham fans and otherwise, who are saying he'd be gone by now, and people are putting money on it. Clearly, it hasn't happened, so this is good. But let's not read too much into him staying. If he signs the 1-year extension or 2-year extension or whatever, that doesn't mean he's staying for that long. So as soon as he has a bust up with Levy or things aren't going right, or we play Burnley, he's going to walk away.
Change.
Yeah. We just need one to lose.
There'll be more of those outbursts. There'll be more of those post-match when we didn't play and it's Tuesday or Wednesday night in the middle of the week, and we just got done, or we did just a boring 1-1. It's not what we were expected. We're going to get those Conte outbursts. We know he's an arsehole sometimes, but he's our arsehole. You know what I mean? We just got to stick with him. We just got to ride this out and not just throw our toys at every opportunity at him, because we're bloody lucky to have him, And I expect him to sign, and therefore I expect a deal for Kane to be announced fairly soon after an extension to Kane's contract.
And also, his arsehole energy for him. It was a Burnley game, wasn't it, where he basically said, should I even be here? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That is also the same energy that has him on the touchline. Getting the fans going, getting the players going, and shouting at him for every single second of the match. That wins us points. So we can't expect all the positive energy and no kind of negative energy from him. So we just have to kind of take the rough with the smooth a bit.
But Steve, that outburst at Burnley, I think he said since, hasn't he, that's the point where he wanted to see from the players. Once he had that outburst, that's when it's changed after that, didn't it? When he's come out and basically.
And was that City after that?
No, City was before that, because we beat City, and then we went to Burnley and lost. And I think he pretty much said, "Look, we've gone to City and won, and then we've come here. Am I doing the right thing? Do I want to be here?" And I know we lost at United after that. Ronaldo scored that hat-trick. But really, after that, we sort of motored on, didn't we? We had the bad result against, a couple of games. Brentford.
Brighton.
Were they before, though? Were they before the Burnley game, though?
It was after. We had that week, didn't we? We lost 3 on the spin, and then Cucurella slotted it through to that little Belgian Dutch guy. What's his name?
Trossard.
He scored in the last minute, and that's the worst. That I thought then that's it, season. And then he came out, and he's pretty calm after that. Actually, to be honest, to give him his dues, Conte, he didn't lose his shit or anything. Yeah, but that week, because I think we lost against Southampton that week as well. It was a bad week that week. Sorry, Gibbo to interrupt, but that was after. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think he's the sort of guy that's how he will get to the fans and the players through those interviews, by saying those sorts of things he has. That's how he'll create what he sort of wants, isn't it? Do you get what I mean? He'll be like that. He uses the media to get what he wants with the board or with the team or with whatever, doesn't he? That he's that type of guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
We had it with the Spence thing. Then straight after, it's like, that's a club signing. That's not me. That's a club. And all of a sudden, like we've got 50 billion different kind of views of that one sentence. And and so we're going to see that all season, and his box office, column inches. I love watching him. He's in front of Steve. He's the other side of the pitch from where I sit. I watch him all the time. I watch him more sometimes than I watch the football. He's amazing.
We could do like stereo Conte cam.
Yeah, could do it, couldn't we? Could you imagine? You get the emotion, but you've also got the downside of that as well, which we just got to take. We know what we're getting. We've seen it. We saw it last season. We're going to get a bit more out this season, but he's ours, and let's love him.
And it's infectious, isn't it? It's like I said, it infects the fans. Like we've had a better atmosphere at Spurs since he's been there than I've known at Aqua Stadium, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, call it what you want. Plus, I mean, Reggie, who was injured on the bench, must have known he was going to be departing the club. Every time he had a good chance or a penalty shout or scored a goal, he was going mental. So a player who doesn't even think they're going to be a club the next season, so kind of, brought along with the passion of Conte that he's celebrating those types of things. Compare that to when we had Mourinho and Nuno, and even the end of Poch. When we scored a goal under Pochettino, you'd look at the players in front of me. Yeah, they were kind of half celebrating. So it helps.
Everybody's bought in, haven't they? Levy's bought. Everybody's bought in. Levy, the players, the fans,
even Levy.
Yeah, everybody's bought in. Everybody's invested in it.
Davo's not bought in, but then he'll be the last person to be brought into the project.
Well, Davo isn't bought into much really, in terms of anything involving ENIC or Levy or the club. So that's just one of them. But look, we'll be going in 90 minutes, playing a full match. Hopefully, the fitness levels have held up through that. I just want to thank you all for watching. Please do hit that subscribe and like button. Really helps us. Smash that like, smash that subscribe. Check out our Patreon offering at patreon.com/Cheeseroom Podcast. Loads of great benefits. I should have put the slide up with all the benefits on, really. My bad. But Gibbo, thanks for joining me again.
No problem, mate. Back on Wednesday. Doing my first hosting show on Wednesday, so go easy on me if you tune in.
I mean, no pressure at all, Gibbo, really. What could possibly go wrong?
You're a natural at this, mate. You're good. You're good on this. You'll be fine, mate. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
Don't have a tough act to follow.
There you go. There you go. Exclusive content, prizes and discounts, chat group, fantasy football, cheese room merch, all just £3 a month. There you go. See, I knew I had
Get on it.
Get on it. If you're not already, why aren't you doing it? Paul, thanks for being on.
No dramas. Thanks very much for having me on. Yeah, we're in the final little stretch now. It seems a while since we've had some Prem football, and I don't know about you boys, and I don't know people in the chat and the people watching, but I'm fairly excited.
Yeah,
I'm fairly excited. I'm looking forward to this season. I really am. And I'll get there nice and early on Saturday, and maybe go to corner pin after I've got some clients in the morning. Drop a bag, get changed, get up there. Might see you guys, or try and come over to the west side or whatever and see. Yeah. I'm genuinely looking forward to the season. Seeing people sitting around me, and ask me again at Christmas just for the World Cup. See how we are. But at the minute, I can't wait for Saturday. I'm genuinely, as the kids say,
exciting times.
When
it is exciting time. It is. Yeah. So cheers for having
And
me
what
on.
is it-
Thanks very much.
What is exciting is the whole family's back together, isn't it? You know, us four are there. Loads of people from the choose room are there. And everyone gets to see their mates again who they probably haven't seen for sort of 8 weeks or whatever it is.
First game
Stevie-
of the season, brilliant.
Stevie, I know you'll be excited about the Tunnel Club member menu.
I am. They haven't sent it over yet. New menu this season as well. But as Dawson, back to keto, unfortunately. But as Dorso said, like it's been a while since I've been excited, for any game, let alone first game of the season. So, yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. I think we'll win reasonably comfortably on Saturday. I just can't wait to be back in the stadium.
Yeah,
that's going to be
good vibes. Good vibes.
Good feeling.
And
it's good vibes. Yeah.
The main thing is I get to meet Gibbo in person for the first time.
He's a lot shorter than he looks on the cheese room.
I'm shorter in real life.
How tall are you, Gibbo?
5'8".
That small.
Really?
The guy's an Oompa Loompa.
I'm a little fella. Yeah.
That is small.
You won't see me coming through the crowd when we're there. I'll just
you're almost as small as John.
Yeah.
Probably hear you asking for a cider or something at the bar.
Where'd you sit?
They don't do it, do they? I'm going in the. I've got tickets in the safe standing in the south stand on Saturday.
Nice.
I fancy that. Yeah, I like going in the south stand. So fingers crossed it'll be decent in there. Should be. I know someone else who's been in there. They said it's really good. So
I'll meet you for some food pre-match.
Yeah.
And if Muir doesn't chicken out of seeing me in the stadium like he does every single time, then I might see Muir as well.
I do fancy trying the corner pin though. I've not been in there since it's been done.
Yeah, it's good.
Corner pin is great.
Let's meet.
Yeah,
it is good. It's good vibe.
It's good vibe. Yeah, for anybody in the chat listening in who hasn't been to corner pin, it's really good. Like
they do nice food out there as well. They do like nice, like
good food, good beers.
So for the uninitiated, the corner pin is basically the old ticket office.
Yeah. Opposite the south stand, isn't it?
Opposite the south stand, opposite the shop entrance, and as you walk up Seven Sisters on the right hand side after number 8, and it's good. It's got a big screen at the back, and you can hear next door singing and songs start. And it was I was there pre-Arsenal. Just got
lots of varieties of Beavertown as well, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, they have,
including one of our own.
One of our own, which other pubs in London aren't allowed to have. I found out last week.
Bones as well. Bones
is good. Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe later on. Yeah, it's good. It's a good vibe. Getting there nice and early, and then cruise.
We need a table in there, Paul. Do you reckon you can sling us a table?
What me? I mean, you earn just as much as I do, mate. So maybe you could host a table.
Oh, they're not hosted. You just pick them up.
Oh yeah. I could.
Yeah, I just meant lie across the table until we get there.
What, like
put a reserve sticker on?
Some kind of 1970s kind of like car model over the bonnet of some car. It's like lie there. Draw me like one of your French girls. Anyway, you don't need to know, but yeah, I could probably do that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because
we'll host a table. Be like, Christ.
Host a table now. I would ask you
12 people. Go on.
I'll be like, Diver, get in there. Come on.
That's slander, Davo. I'll be taking the overground up there. Thank you very much.
Really?
Yeah. Lewisham's bloody miles away. I can't drive up there.
I thought you'd take an Uber.
No, too expensive. Too long. That's like an hour and a half in an Uber, so screw that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and a ridiculous amount of money as well. So
there you go.
Right. So anybody in the chat, anybody's ever going to come to the game, then obviously we're all on social. Steve might actually get a functioning social media handle one day. We never know, but all the rest of us are on social media. So let us know.
Debit credit.
Let us know if you come up to the game and stuff, and we could always try and catch a few of you. It'll be nice. It'll be nice. Keep the good vibe going. Yeah. And unless you are a certain individual, then I don't want to ever see you. But we won't talk that because
we're more fun in person.
Yeah, Steve's lovely in person,
but shorter as well.
Yeah.
Much shorter.
But anyway, yeah.
I'm
let's
also
go.
wider in person, but we should probably leave it at
Come and
that.
say hello.
Exactly.
Come on,
Salah.
you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.